Chapter number 5. A Ride into the Sunset. Abductions and kidnappings are happening even from our churches. Children are disappearing from church. On a busy street called Broadway in Los Angeles, we went to visit a church where we love the pastor's family. My husband was the guest speaker that morning. Service was great and the music was even better. After service, as we socialized, I asked the little girls there to take my son to the restroom. Take him into the girls' restroom with you. A time went by and the girls were back walking around the sanctuary. I asked, where was my son? And they said, I had left him in the restroom. I asked, did you guys take him in with you? And they said, no, he wanted to go into the boys' bathroom. I had been watching and waiting. My gut feeling was that something was wrong. We started looking for him, and the girls came back and said he wasn't in there anymore. The ministers and everyone started to scour the building. Finally, we thought maybe he went outside. I panicked because anyone who knows Los Angeles knows that Broadway is a very busy main street. We ran out and looked both directions and nothing. Finally, my husband looked straight ahead across Broadway, and over a block away, we saw my son's brown plaid suit jacket. He was up on a man's shoulder who was walking fast, sitting as the man was walking away. His dad and I screamed, "Hey! Hey!" And the man turned around and everyone was screaming then, "Hey! Hey!" I was screaming, "You bring my baby back!" Traffic was very heavy as the men went to cross and run after him. He turned and waved. He was caught. It was the organist. They knew who he was. I was violent. The men had to make me sit in the car. I was crying, yelling, and really angry. When they reached the organist, he said he was taking my son to the ice cream truck. Of course, there was no truck in sight. He had a few more steps to turn the corner, and no doubt we would never find him. When they brought him back, I screamed, "How are you going to take my son anywhere? You're sick." They handed me my son, and he was unharmed, but I knew from the depths of my soul that he was stealing my child from the church of all places. The pastor and minister said that he was a visitor. He did not belong to their church, but stopped by often to minister, sing, and play the organ. We left him with them. They had to get me out of there. We gathered our stuff and left. In hindsight, I believe we should have reported him to the police. Attempted kidnapping or abduction. I often thought about him and how smooth he was to slip my sweet son out of the men's restroom and out the back door. He had hoped we would continue our visit and give him time to escape. Sometimes we should call the police. As we often visited churches, I became more watchful of my children and others. There was another incident, but this time I had a dream. I saw a familiar brother of a church standing at the back door of the church, building, he had a ladder standing there under what looked like an attic hatch opening. He was peeping and looking at a large black pot that was sitting up through the hatch. He would look around to see if anyone was watching. If not, he would put his hand and arms into the pot and stir around and around. He seemed very happy as he would stir. Then he would climb down. In my dream, he did that routine several times. The last time I saw it, I asked, God, show me what's in that pot. All of a sudden, I was in the attic as he came up. He did not see me, but put his hand and arm in the pot again. When I looked down into the pot, it was full of severed body parts. I saw feet, hands, fingers, and large hunks of flesh. He, however, was enjoying every second as he touched them all. I heard God say, I'm putting a stop to it. All of a sudden, a giant metal top slammed shut down on his arm. He fell back off the ladder. He hit his head on the wall and the door. I woke up. I was terrified of what and who I saw. I knew the man seemed awfully creepy and weird at times. He was always with young boys. I believe God had given me a warning to steer clear. I have no idea what he was doing, but God showed me that he was repulsed by his behavior. People feel that they can sneak and hide from God. I want you to know without a doubt, God will tell on you. God rest your soul, my sweet son. I'm happy we found you.